Hello, everyone. Now that you are connected via GSC to URL Monitor, we're going to show you how to start processing and indexing your pages via the app. So if you watched the first video, you know you now have access to 200 per email that you sign up to your ownership in GSC to start on a 24-hour basis pinging the crawl API to get crawled and then indexed within Google. So you'll see here, this is still our test site here. We have 158 pages left to submit today. And this is pretty simple how this is done as well. But I'm also going to show you the auto index feature just so you fully understand it. So, so as you'll see down here, here's your table of all of the URLs that are attached to this sitemap. Never been submitted. This has never been submitted through URL Monitor specifically. And then all of these pages here, you'll see your page health, which, by the way, this is actually a great feature. Highly recommend looking at this if there's any ever issues with on the technical side being able to index. So definitely once this starts to process, you'll see these start to change. But this is a very good source for figuring out at a technical level if there's something wrong that's maybe breaking the indexing process. This is your go-to start point. Also down here too is just page impressions in Google search in the last 30 days. This is actually going under an update. We're gonna have more of these stats for you in the future, but this one is currently under update, but that will populate once this starts to go through. So real quick, you can simply click these buttons here. You'll see here, submit 25 pages for de-indexing. That's for non-indexing, de-indexing. So keep that in mind. We are going to have a pop-up that comes up that says, hey, just a reminder, you're de-indexing, not indexing. But you can then submit 25 pages for indexing, or, which most people do initially to get going, you can just fill up your entire quota and hit submit. This kicks off in the background basically all of our jobs to process to ping the API. So this is now going. Give it a few seconds, and then you can refresh the page. You'll start to see these buckets start to fill, right? So this is basically our status board of how URLs go from not checked to in progress. In progress, if you're just doing it this first time, say which we did, we have a 7-day processing window. So keep that in mind. That simply means the job we just did is now in process for the next 7 days, where we're going to, of course, send it to the crawl API to hopefully be indexed right away. But with Google, sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. So we have a 7-day jobs processing window where we try to index for you, and then we check the inspection API to then hopefully populate here that, hey, it's been indexed, right? So that is now going. So all the jobs have officially kicked off, which is great. Let me see here and just refresh. Okay, you'll start to see, yep, so 149 are in progress, 3 indexed, and you'll see all of this stuff start to flow in, right? This is for the first 3, by the way. Last submitted here, index status is obviously the one you're looking for. And then you can look at each of these, right, which is great. And then you can even click out into the GSC console to see the page individually, which is nice. All of these filters are great, especially when you have huge sites. It just helps you navigate around the dashboard very seamlessly. So that's it. I mean, it's a very, very simple process for you on the front end. The back end, we have a lot of jobs to do for you. Just some things to remember that this process we just did, if you were to do that once and then forget about it, we do go through a 7-day window. There's a reason for that. We don't want to spam the API too much. Now, if you did come back in the next day, you can still technically do exactly the same process that we just did. You could still ping the crawl API. Best practice, it really depends on how big the site is, how seasoned the site is. But we think you're okay with if you have a site that's a couple hundred pages, doing this, every single day. If you wanted to, you can do it. So I don't think you have anything to be worrying about unless you have a very big site with very large quota that you're doing every day. If you're doing constant manual pings, you can definitely do it, but that's the only instance where it might be, potentially a red flag. So just keep that in mind. And then let me just show you this auto index feature, which I think a lot of customers love because you're in here, you get weekly emails here. So you'll be able to see what's been indexed, what's been non-indexed if these are selected. Basically, it's our goal here is to keep this on cruise control for you, right? Like you have a bunch of other things to worry about with operating the website. We want to handle, your indexing the best we can. So that's why, we created the dashboard this way, sending out the weekly reports, and then really creating this feature, which is auto index, which I highly recommend to at least select on non-index pages. I actually always have it on all pages. So basically, it's a consistent process that we run when there's pages that are either non-indexed. So obviously, real quick, if we go to non-indexed page, it will be this bucket specifically that is pinged in the quota to process the jobs through. If it's on all pages, it doesn't matter what bucket it's in. Obviously, the index page is not included, but if it's in any of these three buckets, that's where it will pull from for the daily quota. So keep that in mind. This dashboard updates in real time as we get the inspection data back from the inspection API. Again, the page health is super, super useful. Just allows you to understand some of the technical aspects of what's going on with the actual crawl, when it was crawled, dates, things like that. And then, I would definitely recommend leaving auto index on, at least initially as you get going. But the other main just points as we wrap up here with the actual indexing process, it's a 7-day window. If you were to do what I did, then walk away, come back in 2 weeks. These buckets will be very different. If you wanted to come back in every day and click on what was not indexed or not checked and do the same fashion and send it, definitely can do it. I raised the issue that potentially, huge sites that have, thousands of quota up here a day could be an issue, but that's a very small customer base. So not too many people have to worry about that. And then I showed you the auto index feature. And again, too, by the way, if you ever want to this is the window that pops up if you want to just add new URLs or any URLs that you want, you can just add here, add URLs, and that's it. So all of this is pulled from the sitemaps, which we already had talked about in the other videos. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, you scroll down here and there's more pages that you can go through. And then, of course, here, if you have multiple sites, just click this. It will drop down. You'll see all your sites. One more thing, too, is I've actually just added this YouTube button. So this is our YouTube channel. You'll be able to get more videos like this, which will be very useful in the future because we are doing a lot of development work now, which, by the way, you can see in Roadmap some of the elements that we're working on to, give some more features in terms of actual like SEO elements per page, but also bring in things like Bing indexing and some more, some more auto index features that basically speed it up a little bit more. So anyway, definitely check out the YouTube channel and the roadmap whenever you can. But that is a very simplified process of starting to get your pages indexed.